And Lois should be coming, right? Usually
think she-
here.
I think she was on vacation last week, so I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe she's
Still on
out of
vacation?
state or something.
She usually tells me if she's not gonna be here.
For a while.
I think of what meeting it was that she was on vacation. Oh, for the DHS board meeting on Thursday.
Are we good?
Yeah, I see Ashley's got my computer for me. I'll just grab it really quick.
Oh, no worries. Just let me know when you're ready.
Thank you so much. I didn't have to see you.
Doesn't the e-copy usually come from Connie?
Mr. Chair, you can start whenever you want.
No problem, Jill.
It from Jill, didn't it?
Yeah, on the fourth.
I think it did.
When I printed it,
When I,
The seventh.
Joe, yeah.
and then I forgot it.
Oh, you forgot it? Well, that's okay. You can
That it was in the closet.
share
Meaning.
with me and my little wet.
Yeah. This is for the, I don't know who to make the check out for that.
Oh, advertisement,
Yes,
Russ County, and then I think you could give it to Ashley.
I'll give it to Ashley, but Russ County,
Just Russ County, right? The checks for advertising is just Russ County.
Just Russ County.
Russ
Thank
County.
you.
And next month, I might change jury duty.
Boy.
I'll just say I forget easily, which I do. I don't know if I have been, but
Right.
gosh, it was probably 20 years ago or something.
I had to sit in the jury.
Did you?
No, I
No,
didn't.
you
The
haven't.
time that I went, I ended up by knowing the person and like, I worked with them and they had shared details
Oh,
about, so I'm like,
oh, yeah, well, you
kind of
can't.
puts me out of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
ethical being on the jury.
Right.
If you want me on, but
you have.
full disclosure, and after I told them that, they kicked me off pretty quick. Good. All right, it is 3:06. I'll call the Joint City County Tourism Committee to order. First on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from June 9th, 2025. Read over the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from last month.
All right,
Second.
we got a motion by Tom, a second by Cheyenne to approve the minutes from June 9th, 2025. Any additions or corrections?
See any.
Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion carries. Public comment limited to 3 minutes per person with the maximum public comment on the 3 minutes agenda. Public comment,
Well, thank you.
okay. See nobody from the public. Move on to update on visitor center guides.
Okay, so we have officially closed sales for the visitor center guides. We're doing well on collecting. So right now we have taken in about $6,800 in ad sales with about $4,000 still remaining. I have started sending out just reminder letters for those who we haven't received payment for yet. So we actually exceeded what we budgeted for revenues. So we budgeted 9,500 and the total value of our sales was $11,175. And I do believe Amy emailed this morning and said she is still expecting to make one more sale. She just hasn't heard from that person yet and she's trying to make contact with them. So that should probably be even a little bit higher depending on what they're looking for. And those were numbers that have booked as of 7/9. So obviously the Plaid Peacock isn't in yet. And I think there was one more that we received maybe Thursday or Friday that hasn't booked yet either.
Was the 9,500 that we budgeted, was that for our part of the revenue?
I think it was 7,500. I'm sorry if I said 9,500. We budgeted that as revenue from ad sales, yes.
Okay, and we're at 11,175 of sales, but then, what was it?
We've only taken in $6,775. So then the outstanding invoices, I'm just continuing to send reminder letters because River Travel gave them a 30-day.
And a percentage of that goes back to river travel though.
Yes. Mhm. Yeah, this is gross, not net.
Yeah, okay. Would you remember what the percentage to go with that trip?
Don't know.
25% or something, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, because then even if we have the 11,175, it would only be whatever our net is off that. But it didn't seem like, Amy sent me that list. And it seemed like less people than you would think for the dollars, but I suppose some of them were like the full page ads.
Yeah, so we had 3 sales that were over $1,000. One was to the North Cedar, one was to the hotel, and one was to Washington County Tourism.
Nice.
So, yep, we had some larger sales in
Your hotel.
Probably not.
All right. Anything else on that?
So the copy has been done and sent over to them. The forestry department created or updated, I should say, that big map in the center, you know, on the staple. They went through and updated all of that. I got that from Dane this morning, sent it to Amy. She's already sent it off to the designers. I did receive permission from the Blue Hills Trails Association to include their west and east side maps. And the last thing on the list is that our intern Willow is going to head out this week and start taking updated photographs. So we're really making a lot of progress and getting you guys a draft of what it might start to look like soon.
So by next month, do you think already?
Ooh, I'd have to connect with Amy. I think it depends how fast we can get the photos to her.
That's a possibility anyways.
Definitely a possibility.
That's good. Yeah, questions? Right? Next on the agenda is determine economic development tourism director job description duties. Actually, you guys send out these job descriptions.
Yep. So the only information I really went off of is I know, I think you guys had directed to look at what other counties did. So I did send out a email to other HR directors that I'm on an email chain with, and I asked for their economic development or tourism job descriptions. And what they sent back, there's quite a few counties that don't actually have an economic development or tourism. It's a lot more popular for the city to have it, and then the county to pay a portion of that. So some of the cities did send me their job descriptions for that as well. So that's essentially what I used to create this. So other than that, I'm not sure exactly what you guys are looking for. So this would just be a very rough first draft for you guys to look through to see what kind of bullet points you're looking for that position.
A lot of the stuff in here I liked, like retention, expansion, recruitment stuff. I would probably maintain a photo library instead of a photo library. There's no O there.
Oh.
And that was just a typo. I figured I'd find out too once you're here. Do you feel the bachelor's degree for education? I know it says equivalent combination. Should degree would be adequate, or if you felt.
It all depends what you guys are looking for. I think all of the job descriptions I found had a bachelor's on it. That's why I kept it, but that probably will be pretty difficult for us to find here.
And I know that it says equivalent too, but I'm just wondering if that, when somebody reads their qualifications and they see bachelor's degree, sometimes people don't look no further than, oh, I'm not qualified, I got an associate's degree or something. So I was just wondering if.
From my experience, it's the opposite. We have like a lot of high school diploma people that apply for like bachelor level positions. I honestly, a lot of people probably don't even read that far down into job descriptions, but
Be like a different level based off of, I mean, I think of like the social service worker, and there's like 3 different levels based off of like your education experience, and that's what the level of pay is.
The problem, like, education doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get do a better job at in this particular field, you know, it's not like there's more.
But that's just not,
It may help.
that's not limiting, like who can apply, but it's also incentivizing people that have maybe more like education experience as well. If there's like different levels of pay scale.
But then what if somebody has like 20 years experience in it, but no bachelor's degree? Where they start out less than somebody with a bachelor's degree?
I mean, how does it work in other positions?
You guys aren't the only one in the county that does that.
Maybe you say or bachelor's degree or
No, it does say, but
experience, you know,
the combinations
Does
of
it say-
experience will be.
that would cover it then, you
I
know?
mean, we could always change the bachelor's to an associate's too, if you know, and then if somebody applies with the bachelor's. That's great too.
Or
That's you
bachelor's,
guys.
or bachelor's degree preferred. That kind of leaves it a little more open too. I'm just thinking they could be totally.
Have we established a wage range at all at this point?
The
No.
wage one.
I'm sure it would be dependent on experience and all, but
Well, until the description's approved, they won't be able to send it
it
in
won't be,
or
okay.
each on that.
So this has to, if we approve it, then it has to go to what, HR or personnel or? Okay. Just think there's a lot of duplications, but it does say in here to work with government agencies and the Chamber of Commerce. Probably being familiar with social media and all that is probably a high priority in this day and age. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be able to be a good team player, right? Sure. With everybody else.
Yeah. It felt like everything in there was pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
No.
You have a social media, no, I was just
Oh.
seeing that there, that's, yeah.
I think if we change it to like at least associates and then. Oh, I mean, at least open up our field of applicants.
Change it to associate's degree or. You would hope it'd be somebody with some experience, right? Not fresh off the.
But I mean, we've also had really strong like interns in the past that were going through school that, I mean, I think of when I first started, we had two really strong people that were going through school that could have worked on this job as well.
Okay,
I mean, so there's, I think that experience is more important than necessarily the, yeah, like the educate, I mean, that's important to have that background, but experience can speak volumes.
can be, yeah, brought into it, I guess. But then that would, the wage would be compensatory with, experience, so. Right?
a
And
degree
then,
means you're a good test taker, right? The
Yeah.
experience can show how you actually performed in a scenario. All right, anything else besides the education? Seems like we're kind of all leaning towards changing it to associates there.
Mhm. Here, that number one. Yeah,
Under education, experience and skills.
I'm motion to approve. I don't know if you guys want to talk about who it reports to. I know that is probably gonna come up
It says administrative coordinator and oversight committee.
Where?
in joint tourism, but I know there's already been questions on
Yeah,
is the city contributing to this? If not, it probably shouldn't report to joint tourism.
well, so I would leave it as is until it goes to finance. If we get, if it ends up by being county owned. Want to change that, something, the county committee.
So our ordinances dictate that the economic development director reports to the finance committee.
Yeah, that's, after,
So that's-
after we
yeah.
sent this in, I did
Okay.
find that, so I don't know if we wanna, I don't know that that makes a lot of sense to me over.
How did we become economic development, like for, I know that I was here when that, when those combined to that. So I mean, should we be overseeing the economic development budget if that's reporting to finance?
We don't have an economic development director, so like finance, like the report they receive from me is essentially what goes down at the joint management committee level.
So then we would still oversee the budget,
Person.
someone else would oversee the position.
Yeah, I know, it's super confusing. Yeah.
Well, and then the thing with that is it probably, as we're overseeing the budget, they'd probably bring their budget to us too. So they'd be here for that.
Yeah, that's where like cleaning up a lot of our committees is gonna be really useful for things like this. We have a lot of loose ends like this, not just with economic development.
So is it something worth like changing the ordinance to like, to looking at that process, so then it's the committee that would be overseeing that position? Or the budget is one that's overseeing the position?
I'm not sure I touch our ordinance. I don't know, Phil, if you want to step in on what the ad hoc rules is doing. I'm not sure we should mess with ordinances until you guys did.
We're gonna have like a whole bunch of ordinance changes, and so once we get all the committees changing all at once, it'd probably be a good time to tackle that. And the other thing is, if it is solely funded by the county, it wouldn't really make it a joint committee anyway, so that would be, dependent on if the city would kick in for that or not. Down the road, we could ask them. If that's the case, we could always move it over to joint tourism or something.
That's what I wonder, because the city, if you're saying maybe the city would kick in? Is that
I
what
think
you were-
eventually it'd be worth an ask, I would think, until we finish figuring out
But the-
gates and what's
From
going
what
on.
I understand, the city now kicks into the chamber.
It's Chamber's a separate entity too.
Yeah,
We just basically donate money to the chamber, both of us, because we both agree that
but
it's a good.
the county doesn't.
County gives money.
County gives money to, oh yeah, that is that 18,000 each
Yep.
county and city
Yep.
gave to the chamber. Okay.
So is the chamber doing economic development? That is a lot of things that I found out too from other counties, that their chambers do a lot of economic development.
That's what my question was. I thought,
Contributing.
are we doing this, the city administrator doing some, of course, through the city industrial park, blah, blah, blah. And then we're gonna hire somebody here through the county, and then the chamber is paying somebody to do, but of course,
But the
that's for their business members,
Chamber's mission is for their members,
for
though.
the members, right?
So they might offer like information based off of what their members have, but their main goal is supporting the businesses
Businesses
that are
that-
within the chamber membership.
Right.
But there will be some overlap there.
Yeah,
between-
there's-
Between the executive director at the chamber and this. Somewhat.
Well, it says
looks like they
something in here.
kinda intermingle a little bit.
Yeah, it says something about that this person, economic development person, would need to interact, or I don't know if that was the word, but with other local government agencies and it named the chamber too, so there'd be in
We'd want them to have-
contact,
We'd want them to have a good report.
to have a good working
Part of their
relationship.
job is business retention, right? So
Right,
if the
so-
chamber's got a lot of the connections for a lot of the businesses and stuff, I would assume that they'd
yeah.
have a pretty good relationship.
But this person would be broader for the entire, not just the 200 or 220 members of the chamber, whatever.
Yeah, this would be
Still a lot of members, but,
any business in the county, and then also attempting to bring business into the county on top of that.
yeah, hopefully, yeah.
This is what Andy Alvarado did. Is that correct?
That was
My understanding,
Morgan's
before my time, but my understanding is he's an economic development,
coordinator, I think he was.
What his position was.
Yeah,
So he started off as truly the economic development director, I think in like '08 or something. And then the longer Andy stayed here, the more it got piled on him. And then then tourism came into it, then airport, then maintenance, then the administrative coordinator.
yeah,
So
I knew he had a multitude of like a very full plate.
yes, his plate was
So, you know.
full, yes.
When he was economic development, was that a full-time position for him?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So then after that, we've never had a full-time position.
After Andy started getting all that piled on him in the mid 2000s, I would say you haven't had a true full-time economic development director in over a decade, would be my professional opinion based off of all the duties he has.
It's happened in the last decade in Russ County, just, we haven't exactly went in the right direction as far as businesses, so.
Right.
Just is some of that coincidence probably, but we haven't done much to help ourselves.
Yeah, when you get too much on your plate, you can't concentrate and do a good job on any one thing, right? Ashley, you're
Oh,
probably.
absolutely. Yeah.
You're probably.
Actually, I haven't got anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is if you put this job on top of something else and somebody's got another job they're trying to do, it doesn't really give them time to give to establish the connections and everything else that you kind of need in this job. If your background's not in that, so. I don't know, other than changing that to associates.
That down.
So we're about to make a motion
Make a motion,
to forward this, the personnel committee with the
changes to the
change to the associates.
vision.
Yeah,
And I'll second that.
so we got a motion in a second. Any more discussion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Carries. Right, are you sticking around for a minute? Well, the only thing is, otherwise, if you're, I can jump into this right now. That's okay. Under the visitor center, we talked about the potential person that would
Mhm.
volunteer.
Yeah, I would say that this necessarily wouldn't necessarily be a joint tourism if they want to reach out to me, if the city does, so we can find more details about it.
Oh, okay.
I think that'd be a
I'll
good
just-
idea.
Tie in the email for it.
Okay, perfect.
If that works.
Did they answered with that?
What's that?
What they answered, like what the person wants to do?
They didn't say that, but she gave me the phone number of the person.
Perfect.
Stuff, so
Then
I
I can reach out and
Because I
kinda
just
take it.
asked, I said, we might want to follow up.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Okay,
Do you have anything else to add for that?
The minor.
Like, yeah, the volunteer.
Yeah, I think this is a personnel
okay,
matter. Yep.
perfect.
Yeah.
And I'll just tie in and get you going. Okay, I just wanted to ask that way.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. All right, signage for visitor center hours.
I had someone mention to me that, or maybe it might have been Rhonda down there, that said somebody came in and said, I can't tell when you're driving by when the visitor center is open. Why
They
don't
have like
you
a solid wood door.
Why don't you get one of those flag things that, I guess there'd be a post out by the highway. And in the morning, they would, those big 5-foot open flags. I don't know what the cost is. I have no idea.
But they're real expensive.
I wouldn't think they'd be too expensive, but anyway, that would be one more thing for the ladies to have to go put out there, but.
If we just did like a,
Sandwich.
like an open sign, like the light up one or
Or
something,
just the,
like they're anywhere from like 30 to $100.
Yeah,
And
I think I have one.
What about one of those sandwich board things. that-
So they're gonna have to carry it out there.
But that-
It's a-
yeah,
They're like
that's-
2 pounds, right?
So the wind doesn't catch it and blow it
Yeah.
over.
I suppose. There's that.
You know, you
It
have
might be
some
easier
time.
just to click on a button. I mean,
What
before,
direction does it face?
we had talked before about, looking at like electrics, like an electric sign out front to like
Oh,
advertise.
yeah, one of those, but thousands, right?
Yes, but I wonder, like, the city had just announced, like, for businesses, that there was the grants for like improvements and everything, so I don't know, especially maybe the chamber would partner or something. And if that was, I mean, might be worth exploring, because then we could advertise there about like stuff coming into the community as well.
Be great if they'd.
Or like trains are now open, or
Do you remember what the cost of, doesn't Bruce have something like that?
I
I
wanna
think
say
we
they're
looked at it like a year and a half ago.
like 20,000. And they're a
That's what
lot.
I thought they were they 20 or 30,000?
In Bruce here, we've got that one out front. The
Isn't that
Kiwanis paid for that and it was quite expensive,
yeah, that's what I thought.
$1,000.
They did the whole like brick
Did
work.
the whole thing.
Yeah,
The one by the fire department was pretty expensive too.
Maybe there's like grants out there that could help with
That's neat.
that.
yeah,
Maybe
that,
we look around and find a used one somewhere too.
I don't think you need something super big. I
and,
mean, when people are waiting for the trains, advertise them.
yeah, that would be great, yeah.
But in the meantime, if
Funny, that's part of a conversation because that,
Maybe I
in the
should see
meantime, give
it.
them the $30 one for the window or
I think
You get on average 33.
I have one, but I was gonna give it to Sorel or whatever, but they've got a couple of signs already. I think it's actually an electric one too. I'll have to look, that I had for my ice cream shop.
Mhm.
I just think the flag would be just something else that they have to do, and
And that's
We
just
already have to
gonna,
unlock the trains and stuff now.
yeah, I know, yeah,
Another little thing out there. But a $30 sign for now would probably suffice for a bit.
yeah, for a
even
while.
if it's just something to say like, hey, we're open.
Yeah, because it's only until the end of the summer anyway, but I'll make myself a note and look, see if I can find it. If I have one, I'll take it over there,
What are their hours there?
9 to 4.
And then that's Monday through
Monday
Friday?
through Friday, and then Saturday isn't it 9 to 1, I believe.
Just for the summer.
well, so you're gonna look for your sign.
I'll look for that sign, yeah.
And then
It's just, about this big on a paint,
That looks
on a
nice.
chain, and
and if you can't find it, then,
what do I do? Let you know?
yeah, you can let me know or,
Okay.
or Ashley, because if you don't have it, maybe Ashley would look for a
Yeah,
cheapest alternative.
keep one, yeah, that you could order from Amazon or something.
Wayne Stoll just put that one up by his new building and it's beautiful.
Who did?
Wayne Stoll.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
that
wall
big,
maker.
yeah, right, yeah, that's.
Beautiful sign.
Yeah,
And it's
that's a
featuring different things all the
expensive
time.
one.
and-
Blacktop and everything.
Yeah,
Yep.
really upgraded his place.
Okay.
Right,
Exceed resale inventory line in the tourism budget. So. Train sales for,
yeah.
there's so many people coming through that they started buying everything out. And now we're gonna be,
Lois and Ray and me doing our little tour. We had, I think 95, 96 kids come through.
That's
But
awesome.
I will, with the parents, but I will say a lot of them were toddlers. The homeschoolers would bring their little kids 2, 3 sizes, and
anywhere from.
they wouldn't
6 months.
know what you were talking about. I mean, I always was kind of listening and I had a little bit in the caboose, but
Start me
it's
on,
basically, yeah, but it was fun. It was fun, and then maybe they'll bring grandma and grandpa back or something, But I know she started out, it was mostly for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, I think, was the. But yeah, it was fun. Glad it didn't go into this kind of heat. With the shirt and tie and all of that. They were pretty well dressed up too.
So, we need a motion to send to finance.
Did she say how
request a
much? she-
Budget amendment on that?
So, you do have excess revenues. However, according to the financial procedures manual, we are not to touch excess revenues without permission. It's expected those will go back into the general fund. And then you only budgeted $1,000. Let me find it here.
Would it go in the general fund or the mining funds? It says.
Money fund, yeah, sorry.
Okay, yeah, okay. But back in,
Fund funds the budget.
okay,
So you budgeted $1,000 for resale inventory. We haven't hit that yet. But I think Rhonda was talking about maybe needing some shirts, and there's a minimum order on shirts.
Oh, yeah, I remember her saying that. Yeah.
So that would likely push this over $1,000. And since it's such a small budget, like 10% of $1,000 is $100. So it would end up being at finance.
Well, I know when we had the kids tours, they bought a lot of the $3, $4, $5 items, little trinkety things, puzzles and some of the $3 books and stuff. So
Are they looking at changing the logo? Cause it's that train one, right?
what
The
the,
shirts that they're talking about reordering.
yeah, I don't
know you
I
made
don't
a,
know which ones she was gonna reorder.
cause I know you made a comment when not this past year, but the year before at the tourism conference, is that it really didn't like make it obvious that it was Ladysmith or Russ County.
Oh,
And so if they're changing that up, maybe making it more obvious that
maybe
where it's coming from.
where it is. Yeah.
Prior to.
Yeah, because I can't remember if it was the train, did it say Ladysmith, small letters in
It
it?
was, yeah, like, cause really, you said, oh yeah, it's hard to like read where,
Yeah, where,
so if we're gonna advert, using that as like a
They
walking
use it.
billboard,
might as well,
for its
Yeah.
walking billboard.
yeah.
We need to ask to exceed that budget.
See if they could, yeah.
yeah, so Ashley, are you recommending like $2,000 or $1,500, do you think?
Go up to 2,000 if you wanted. We're also looking good on donations for this year. I guess it's just a matter of what you guys want the policy to be on, how much inventory we let build up. So while some things sell really good and we can't keep them on the shelves, other things have been sitting there for quite some time.
Have they ever made like an online store for the things that are there that people could just, if they were into trains, you know what I'm saying? It might open it way up compared to what we have for foot
Yeah,
traffic
right.
in there.
I've always thought maybe it would be good, because I don't believe we sell any like train sets, with the track and the whole thing. I have no idea what the prices are, but you wouldn't buy a lot of that kind of thing. But sometimes you think grandparents would buy that for the 3 and 4-year-olds for Christmas, But I don't think they don't sell anything like that at the museum. I mean, at the, Historical Society.
And if it wasn't specifically like labeled like Russ County or like, I would probably just order it online. Like if I was buying
Oh.
a train set,
Oh, you would, oh, okay.
I mean,
rather
so-
than Buy it
you may
at,
have some people do it, but
well, I'm just old fashioned.
like, I mean, like a train whistle is different than like a train set.
Yeah, right. But it was surprising, the girls, the staff were real excited about counting up how much they were selling each time we had the kids' tours, And there was quite a bit of stuff that went out the door.
So maybe some like upping it to 1,500.
1,500 maybe would be good for this year anyway. See, I'll make a motion to that effect if you
Said
want to
tourism
do it.
donation line, to,
whatever, I can't see what line that
or
is.
no, not donation,
1,000 to
The
1,500.
inventory,
Sale inventory.
1,000 to 1,500.
to 1,500.
But again, look at the logo before you get them printed up. And
Right,
making sure you can read Ladysmith or Russ County or
Mhm.
yeah,
whatever.
see if they can,
Don't just have them place a reorder.
Right. And maybe like, if there's an option for different, cause I think they're like white and like tan shirts, sometimes having different variety of like a color.
yeah, because they're just gray and blue, I think, right now, aren't they?
Mhm.
Okay.
So you think that will,
Maybe you or you want to stop out there and talk to them about them before they order them,
okay,
or Shan, or both of you.
you wanna?
I don't got a whole lot of time right now. Someone told me I need to start saying no.
Okay, I can, but I just wonder, it's 1,500. How, what have we spent so far, Ashley?
So this is as of June 25th. These are the most current numbers. You have spent so far 660
661?
with the 338 remaining.
Oh, okay, so if we go, we'd have 800 or almost 800, 770 or whatever, 760.
If you had 500, be 838, 81.
So you, yeah, that should be enough to buy.
Whoever does the printing, I wonder if they could ask for,
Yeah, I don't know.
you
I don't know
what
where she gets them
Would they
from.
do a deal, because it's might be a write-off for whoever is doing the printing. They maybe could do a donation on some of that or
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
I don't know where she gets them. Yeah.
No more though, right?
Hmm?
Got a year.
Still doing.
Got a year, yeah.
We're there until next July. Yep.
Oh,
And then it'll move to Kentucky. So they'll still be here, but they just won't be in the.
so if we think,
Closer then.
I wish one of them would have been here, or Rhonda would have. She thinks 1,500 will do. I would think so.
So there's
For
only
the writ,
800 left to go right now. 800.
So I just bought like 50 shirts last week from Artisans and it was like 700 something for 50 shirts of different sizes.
for that many, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, we also had quite a few colors in our design too, so that ups. So if it's one or two colors, so I mean, they would probably be,
They're gonna be more competitive at a one color,
Yeah.
Are they in order 50 of them?
well, you have a minimum order of 48,
I
right?
think 50 is a minimum order. Yeah, see, that's what I don't
You
know.
said the minimum order was 48.
No, I think the minimum order is like 20 shirts or something.
So I mean,
How many?
20.
20. Well,
and being that the season's winding down, maybe you don't do that many either, do
yeah,
some
right,
more.
because,
Get
but,
through the rest of the year and see how it goes
right,
there,
you only got a few more.
if whatever the minimum might be.
And if Artisans, like, we sent over our logo and they adjusted it too, so even if we sent over like, hey, we wanna change this up and everything, they have their art department that would look at that.
Okay, so add Russ County on it or Ladysmith or whatever.
Probably Russ County.
Yeah,
Second,
and then, okay,
We've got a motion and a second to, add 500 to change the resale.
increase budget to 1,500, right?
1,000.
and that's to send it to the next committee, right?
Yeah, because then,
So yeah, she can't order it yet, but
yeah, financial
It's
stuff.
what?
it has to go to the next committee.
That's what the Finance.
Oh, it
committee.
still has to before I can tell her that?
Actually has to be approved by the full board too, per statute.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 5.
Okay,
So don't go see her yet.
okay.
Well, you can start the process of like, what the logo.
Well, yeah,
I
because you're
can-
gonna want
yeah.
to start talking about it when they're ready.
Yeah, I'll talk to her about it and see how many she was. Unless there was a lot of other little stuff that she was gonna order, but I wouldn't think, maybe $100 worth of stuff or something.
Is it gonna
Okay.
get on the agenda for this month?
For finance, the agenda is out. It is finance.
I think it's on Thursday.
I
You could
forget
ask.
everything has to go to.
For amendment.
It's
Yeah, if you.
never simple.
Get something on the agenda for the 26th.
Yeah, we still got time for the board too.
Okay, so I'll talk to her, but I will say we'll have to wait.
Second.
Okay.
Pen.
Okay, so we got a motion and a second to amend the budget to 1,500 at Board of Finance. Any more discussion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Right.
Any opposed, say no. Motion carries. All right, budget reporting form, tourism and economic development. So the only thing I got on there was increase in train tours, cleaning inventory. But other stuff we just went through. Wasn't anything else I missed, Ashley? Okay. We want to make a motion to approve the budget report?
Need a motion, you said?
Yeah. And
Second.
in a second, we got a motion in a second. Any more discussion?
It's gonna be for both of them, right?
Yeah. The tourism and the economic development.
662 and 666.
Those are the numbers. Yeah. All right, any more discussion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion carries. Budget review, economic development. Tourism.
Okay, so this is budget season. I think some of you guys have been through this with me before, but we have quite a few things that we need to talk about in depth. I'm gonna start with tourism. The lines that I have highlighted in red are the ones that are going to be a little bit different or might be a little bit different in 2026. So the first is these lines right up here, extra help, which is tied into Social Security, retirement, and workers' comp. So extra help is what we, for this year, have moved into special projects to help pay for CETA. In the past, we've had the extra help line to pay for our part-time specialist and or the intern. So my question to you guys is, if you're going for a full-time director, is this a line that you still want to budget for? So that's just something to think about. Then coming down to our building maintenance, Brett did bring to my attention that it's looking like the visitor center is going to need a new roof here in the next year or two. He does not have estimates at this time, but that's something that you guys should have on your radar to think if you want to budget for that in 26, if you want to budget in 27, if you don't want to do anything. And then
Red's crew, do roofing.
does what?
Would the maintenance department be able to do the roofing on that at all?
I don't think they have the equipment to do roofing, but I can ask Brett.
If it's not like super,
I don't even think they have a nail gun though.
I mean, a nail gun. By the time you pay a contractor, you pay for, a nail gun.
Yeah, I don't
And a
know.
couple of staples.
We are gonna have to talk offline about liability with that one. Yeah.
Right.
But definitely I can ask him that. He did not bring up his staff doing it though. He brought up getting,
It's 5,000.
nope, I haven't touched any of this.
Oh, okay.
Lines are in red because you guys need to direct what you want.
Okay, because I was gonna say new roof's gonna cost more than that.
Yeah.
And that's important, the roof, but did we ever get?
That's on Brett's
anything?
list. It's on his list.
Contractor is on the list.
It's on Brett's list to do it through maintenance because we couldn't get any contractor.
Oh,
that-
you couldn't get anybody to bid on it, so,
Yes.
And
okay.
did they ever get a refrigerator? I know that's off topic, but did they ever get a refrigerator in there?
I don't think so.
Remember the whole refrigerator thing they've been asking for their
Last-
approved lunches there?
I know. Yeah, they were looking for a used one,
Just one for lunches, they said. Or if they have an event there or a meeting,
right?
they have no refrigerator that works, correct? Am I
Right.
correct on that?
Like a
Yeah.
college size.
When the last time I was there, they didn't have one yet. Might have been 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, that's not in the budget. Okay. But like a dorm style fridge would be in the budget.
They said they would even take used, didn't they? I mean, they just needed a refrigerator.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there's something else besides lunches they use that for though too.
Sometimes if there were events in there or something, they said too.
Yeah, I
Or if there was
know,
a
they
meeting
would
in there, they
want
would
some
prefer-
stuff in the freezer, you know, for a little bit or.
I'm sorry, that was way off topic.
Well, maybe not if we're budgeting for equipment, might be on topic too. That's something we get a budget for.
Okay, so those are some things to think about with tourism, and we're gonna have to make some decisions here because budgets are due back to finance in August, just so you're aware. And then economic development, this is where you're gonna see the costs are starting to get much, much higher than they have been because we're budgeting for positions and big capital needs. So this is a total guess. I do not know where this position is gonna come in at. I kind of looked at what Andy's rate of pay was when he left. So I put in $65,000 for a wage. And then this is just county policy. We budget for a family plan. We budget for worst case scenario for health insurance. So that's $25,000. So you're looking at an almost $100,000 impact to this budget if we do move forward with the economic development director. So then I would have the same question for you guys. If we have a director, do we have need for an intern? That would be a $15,000 savings. And then for the special project line, we kind of have to do this. So the board already authorized use of the mining fund as the match for the comprehensive plan. So we need to budget for that in one of our expense lines. That's already been approved by the board, but we need to reflect that in our 2026 budget. And that's really all I had in terms of economic development, but these are kind of some bigger decisions before you guys on these budgets. Obviously, the budget isn't fully passed until November, but we have to get something to the finance committee for their meetings that usually start in August. Yep.
Did you send that to us? That there,
This,
was that in our packets?
no, I
Okay.
literally just got this.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss something because every once in a while I don't open all the attachments.
Nope, I finished this morning.
Okay. I feel
Well,
like,
it's a fluid document too. I
yeah,
need your input here. What are we budgeting? Is this too low? Is this too high? Do you want an intern? Do you want, what are we doing with
Yeah.
CETA? Are we thinking
we have,
we're gonna cut CETA off? You know,
well, I would budget for CETA and the full-time person, but the intern. I mean, the interning idea was to have a part-time person. We have that in CETA. So I don't see that it's necessarily to have the intern.
I don't know
position.
how we can budget for both CETA and the full-time position. In the sense of like, cause they're pretty much gonna be comparatively the same price for at least a salary and then. I mean, the other part is the benefits. So if we're budgeting for both, then that's double price. Are you saying like one or the other?
No, I would budget for both CETA and the full-time person for at least a couple of years. That'd be my personal preference.
So where is that coming
Using an
from though?
intern then.
Not using
Or
an
not
intern,
even-
no.
not using the intern.
No intern then, yeah.
Because CETA would be what, another 65, that like 68,000 for 2 days a week? So, and we would be
The
spending,
amount of money we spend in a year, we can spend a little on economic development.
but then if we're looking at, that's what, 180,000 then? Just in that 2 items?
Yeah, that's kind of excessive, huh?
Spend millions and millions of dollars a year, and we're worried about $200,000 for economic development.
we didn't pass $200,000 worth of staff wages last year.
Wow, we're supposed to be attritioning people all year here.
Like to always make sure that we put our staff first too. So when we're talking about $200,000, if we do or don't have it, those are the big discussions.
So far, this has only come out of the mining fund, right?
Is that the perception in the building?
Sure.
And the mining fund's not, like, it's just not a limited amount, it's eventually it'll go away.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have to know now or till next month?
I really need to know now. Yep. Because I don't think you're gonna have any more information next month than you have now.
Which is in the mining fund.
Million something off.
Just under two. But we have some huge expenses that are coming up, not just in this committee. Like, we need to talk about the visitor center roof for real. Brett says every time it rains, there's shingles on the ground. We have several expenses coming up on some of our jointly owned industrial buildings in terms of jack units and things like that.
So right now we have an intern and a special, like, so do we, if we're going to have that other position, we could probably get rid of one of them.
So just a note though, if we're gonna keep CETA, which I did not think we would, all of that extra help money, then we can't just zero out because we use this extra help money to fund CETA. So that wouldn't be a savings in the budget. It would just be reassigned to a different line.
And refresh my memory, the CETA, is
Yeah.
that those people that were here, that we were gonna
Yeah,
have
they-
somebody in here helping 2 days a week?
Yep.
And were we under
that
contract
was-
with them? How did that
For
work?
6 months right now.
And we,
And did we start that?
Yes, the person has
It
started.
just started last week. I have an update on that too. Yeah.
that's for economic development too.
Yeah.
Well,
So we
do
wouldn't,
we need, I mean, if we're hiring a full-time position,
Personally, I think that we
So
do our full-time position in-house, utilize all of the resources through the state that like is for economic development and tourism. And we don't look at CETA after that position is hired.
oh,
because then we
sure,
would save the CETA salary.
because CETA we can get out of anytime
6
within
months.
30 days, right?
Yes.
But we still have to budget for that if we're going to budget for that. But also then, how does that work? So right now, the new position is like, obviously it's not a guarantee. So if that doesn't go through, then like, can we go back and budget for then CETA?
Right, so like I said, the final budget doesn't get passed until November. Usually the board has it, or the finance committee has it wrapped up sometime in October. So if you want to commit to the director, we should do that today. But then if something happens where personnel doesn't approve that or the board doesn't approve that, then I will immediately come back to you guys and say, hey, we need to switch gears and budget for CETA instead, or whatever you guys direct. So you do have time. It's just that we have to get something on paper to the finance committee so they can assess at least the thought process of where we're going to be sitting for the year.
Because you were gonna give us an update on CETA, so right now we don't have anybody. They,
We do.
We do have somebody.
But we're under,
the person started already?
Yeah, his name is BJ Rockman. He started last week.
Okay, so he's housed here, right?
2 days a week, he's at the visitor center.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because I know that was one of the questions for the full-time position, right?
and so how much, again, are we paying for him then?
$64.40 an hour.
It was like 28,000, right? Or
Like
something like
20, just under 27,000.
for 6 months.
Twenty
That's for 2 days a week.
7,000.
If we wanted a full-time person and their focus is primarily economic development, not tourism, they said that at that meeting, it would be close to 110,000.
27,000 for,
I know $27 an hour.
No, 64.
27,000 total for like the 6 months.
for the 6 months, right?
Which would put it like December, then if he started in July.
Right?
When are we hiring for that other position for the,
Well, this budget is for next year, so it won't be till January. And yes,
So-
we did a budget
No,
tonight.
And
so
we-
maybe we run it for 6 months and have him here till December.
So that's what the
Have his
plan
salary
is.
and everything, and then in January, hire that position.
But that
And we-
position's not guaranteed. It still has to go through the whole process to be
Approved.
approved.
And the other thing is all of a sudden you got a person who starts that doesn't have any type of infrastructure here, where CETA comes with their own infrastructure. That's what they do. they got people that are gonna train them in, they got our grant writing department, and everything else. You throw a person out there and say, hey, go figure some stuff out. I guess I would at least 6 months into the new year,
So correct me
maybe
if I'm wrong.
utilize CETA
There's a
to
lot of resources to the state.
train our new person, yeah, to just,
Would they do that?
URPC.
that's what we direct them to do. They're uncontracted.
Or they
Do
would,
other duties as assigned, so.
So, but part of what we were just talking about too is that there are like resources through the state to help like those positions and getting going as well. So I mean, they're not going to just be like thrown to the wolves. They're going to have resources at the state level to help work on what we need here, and we have to start somewhere.
And I think CETA is aware that the intent of this position was transitional. And so when we met with them, at least maybe I'm interpreting it incorrectly, but I think they were aware that we wanted this person to kind of build this catalog of contacts and all of those things and documents and one sheets. So then when that new person did come on, there would be something there for them to pick up on. At least that was my understanding when we met with James.
I see a full-time position being an investment in our community for full-time, someone that's going to be here 5 days a week, be there as a support and build something up. There's 2 days, while they can do a lot there, it's also limited to,
you can't do a lot in, yeah. And the full-time position would end up being, I have a hard time reading that.
Well, that's just
Over
a,
100,000, right? With all the taxes and
And benefits and everything, yes.
benefits and the insurance and.
So it would be 116,000
Right.
approximately.
isn't that with an intern in there too, though? So if the
Full-time.
intern wasn't in there,
If
he wanted to-
and if we took. the
Yeah, so it,
intern out,
yeah, about $100,000.
Yeah.
And again, the 65,000 is a total guess on my part based off of kind of where Andy left. Carlson Detman would determine where they would fall on that wage grid that we have.
was that Andy's administrative coordinator?
Nope, I looked back.
That was when he was just or economic development, maybe some other smaller stuff. Okay.
He left at a much higher wage than.
Okay. I was gonna say if you left at 65 or, with everything, it might be less than that.
I'm sure that was only one part of it, right?
Yeah.
so right now, what, like, so we need to make decisions on. So, I mean, I think if we have another position, we don't need both, like, the special help and the intern.
Let's say get rid of the intern, don't you think?
Whatever
like-
one it makes more sense, like, cause there's the special,
Who's the special help?
that's in tourism, right?
You had special help or something. How much was that? 15,000 or something?
Yep, 15,600.
And that's not the intern then?
Correct. We had this budgeted for a part-time tourism specialist. But for 2025, we reallocated that to pay for CETA.
Well, that's off the board.
Do we know how much we need to kind of estimate for a roof?
I don't. Brent is looking at getting quotes, but he wanted me to just bring that to your guys' attention.
We don't wanna do more damage inside if we don't do a roof this next year.
So our CETA person started on July 1st, was it, or July?
I think his official first date was July 7th, whatever that Monday
So we
was.
Last,
hire a person at the very best case on January 1st, and CETA person won't even talk to them. You know, after doing all that work and all that research, I don't know, I would still budget for both.
is there anything, like, how short of a commitment is there with CETA? Again, is it 6 months? I mean.
No, I think it's 30 days for,
30 days.
so we could,
So if you kept them at least for like a couple months or something?
I would say budget for a month,
I'd budget for 6 months to be safe.
but that's an extra $28,000. So.
I feel like out of all the money we crap away on different stuff, we can afford 28,000 for economic development.
I think economic development has gone down the tubes in this
We're-
in
we're
this
in-
county.
Yeah, we need like CPR.
Yeah,
on
like
economic
it has
development.
been non-existent
Yeah,
kind of,
been
right?
non-existent, and I
Yeah.
think we've got to put some money into it, one way or another.
Right. Yeah, I
We
agree.
have the money to do that though. That's the thing.
Well, if we got rid of the
Well, if you
extra
don't
help,
get any businesses, we're not gonna have any money.
We'll make even less money, property taxes.
if we eliminated the extra help and if we eliminated that intern, how much would you save there?
I mean, the 15,
15,800.
Right? And then if we took it out of here, and here I have
It might help pay for CETA if we got rid of that.
I mean, we're also looking at probably, what, 20,000 for a roof or? Like,
that's what I was gonna say, because it's a pretty simple roof, right? It's just,
yeah, it's,
there's no
there's no
weird.
they don't have angle, I mean, the basic, yeah, but they don't have offshoots here and there and everything else, so.
And there's nothing in the budget for this year that like could help with a roof. Like, there's no room in the budget at all for that.
Mm-mm. So, um, reason I was asking about the fridge is because you still have an equipment under 5,000, you still have $1,000, but that was a tangent. And then in terms of where we're sitting with our building and maintenance line, there's only about 3,000 left, and that's what all of our utilities come out of. So we still have 6 months, maybe even 7, depending on when those bills come in of utilities to account for as well. So in total, that saved, I would say around $35,000 if you factor in like FICA, work comp, things like that.
That would help pay for CETA to be here. Along with that new person for,
Think we'd have to have them for 6 months. I mean, it would be nice to have this person for 6 months
alongside that. new-
alongside the new person.
My opinion.
If we could save, if we got rid of those other 2 smaller positions, have,
And would have a full-time person that's doing tourism and economic development, so at least for the last 6 months. Got CETA, we're still got a full-time person, or we had 2 part-timers. Now we could always look at the year after, then when we don't have CETA, putting them back in the budget.
So like big picture wise, if you can see in the 2025 appropriation column. So this is what the official budget was in 25 was $14,000. And so then for 26, we'd be increasing the ask to $116,000. Just big picture wise.
the finance committee know that we're looking at this position full-time?
I don't think finance would be aware of it at this time.
I think most everybody on finance knows it, though. I'm on finance, and I think
Well,
that,
they know it's a
They know.
discussion.
I think most of the people on finance are, or at least probably half of them.
Probably, but if through official channels in
Yeah.
a noticed meeting, no.
Yeah, it has not gone to finance. It needs to go to personnel next anyways, I think, for finance, right?
What's that?
It needs to go to personnel next before finance anyways, right?
No, yeah.
So it'll be a couple steps before it gets there.
Now first, then finance.
It goes to finance really through the budget request, yeah. So if, yeah. And then approved finally by the board. So again, I made those changes, taking out the intern, which then impacts the Social Security and the work comp, FICA, all of those things. So where we would look at ending up here would be an increase from 52,000 this year in total revenues to 190,000. So the 190,000 comes into play. This is what we would have to pull from the mining fund to balance the budget, because this is like an internal service fund. So the revenues and expenditures always have to equal out to 0. So that would be a pull from the mining fund. And actually, to Cheyenne's point, it's good to remember that that's a finite amount of money. So just keep in mind that that would be the impact every year moving forward. If we were to have a full-time director with all of the money coming out of the mining fund and no levy.
But then after 6 months, say June of next year, we could take CETA out of there. Or isn't CETA's in there, isn't it?
I don't-
I haven't put CETA in yet, no.
Well, and even if the mining fund didn't exist, I would suggest taking levy money to invest.
So are you saying this would use up majority of the mining fund?
No, I'm just saying,
It
I'm
would-
just saying you need to understand that any loss in the economic development budget is pulled from the mining fund, and that's the only revenue source. So
But are there other possibilities that will be needing the mining funds for other things for the county?
yep, the mining fund operates the tourism center as well, and then it operates the 6 jointly owned buildings with the city. And
Yeah,
then we also pull from it occasionally for things like the comprehensive plan.
So if there's
that's
less
what I
than
thought. Yeah,
million and we're asking for a tenth of that.
we're asking for a tenth.
Right.
Okay,
Like, so. I don't know. I guess what are we hoping to get out of CETA that we couldn't use from the state resources for that position that would help grow that other position?
you mean if we took CETA off the
Right, like
map?
what are they going to provide that you couldn't get from like utilizing the
Talking about
state resources that are provided?
Shops and seminars and for
And
whoever.
support, like they've got office staff and everything. Like if you're looking at tourism, they have people that are willing to, like, they've got an office that are
Come
willing.
out a couple days a week and go around our businesses and work with them, the state does.
I mean, but like, is that what? How is that, like, that position can do it, especially if we're looking at being mindful of money and everything? Like, they could build that up through utilizing those state resources.
I was thinking you pay for this company to come in for 6 months, and then when we get our full-time person on that, you can utilize them the most. You cut them. I just think that
You're thinking
to keep them
that
on for
CETA
3
would
months.
stay on for another 3 months or something, even when we
6.
hire a full-time person?
That.
Is that what,
6 months to
You
give
know,
it.
it's
or 6 months, so you'd be paying for both?
for like,
But the CETA person would already have the experience in the area.
they already started.
Yeah,
Working.
Is there any room in this year's budget if we, like, say if we got approval by like October or November,
certainly.
hire someone starting at that time? And there's an overlap already for this year when we're already paying for it.
So we used most of the access money for CETA.
Okay.
She said
When
maybe,
Ashley came, she's like,
said
so
maybe
here's how I did the magic with the budget to make this work.
this new position, well, CETA's already under.
Oh, hire them at the same time, pretty much.
Because sometime you're gonna have an overlap anyway. So maybe you get that person hired.
If there's nothing in the budget this year, then
Right.
it is what it is.
Yeah, well,
I don't-
sure, I guess. But right now, the way it's looking, it's not gonna happen until budget cycle next year. I guess something gets sped up in there.
Well, if the budget does get approved in November with this position in it and everything like that, then the recruitment would start after that happens. So you would have someone ready to go on January 2nd or 3rd or 4th or whatever it would be.
And if CETA's contract is done on the 7th, they wouldn't work with it at all.
Their contract is done on the December 31st.
So they wouldn't work with them at all, even if we got approved and we had somebody January 1st ready to start. They wouldn't have any overlap.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of a reality. Like we deal with that, like even in social services, where unfortunately, like the 2-week notice doesn't line up with that. It happens in a lot of departments.
Is there a meeting in here at 4:30?
Yes.
Just want to make sure we're,
What time are we?
We're at 4:15.
So what I can do is take this direction. It seems like everyone is like looking for the full-time director. What I can do is bring the full-time director, and do you want me to put 6 months of CETA in? And then I have to get these budgets to the finance department by the end of this month. So we have to decide something. And then what I can do is I can bring this back to you guys in August. And if you want to further tweak it, we can do that. But I do have a due date on these.
If they don't approve it, then we just know we gotta drop CETA.
Right, and that's the other thing, is it could get sent back, so I would say let's fund CETA for 6 months in there, send it to finance. We can come back and change it if need be.
That would make the most sense, so.
Okay.
We can pull out.
Right,
Okay,
you need a motion on that, Ashley?
Yes, please, to forward the budget proposals to finance.
And
motion to the budget proposal.
I second it.
Okay, we got a motion, a second. Any more discussion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion carries. All right, visitor center update. 15 minutes, I'll go through this fast. I got the notes from, I think it was Ron, I sent that. Deposit for the month of June 2025 was $281. Deposit for the month of May 2025 was $772. Increase is mainly due to all aboard tours. Job sale. As of 7/10, we're currently at 271 for this month. Deposit to City Hall was $182. I'd like to request an increase in budget for 2026 due to increased number of people and purchases, partly due to all aboard program, also increased cost shipping for items. We're raising some of the prices on items, including t-shirts, toys, and souvenirs. Orders need to be larger to keep up with demand for all aboard tours and summer visitors. Currently in process of ordering t-shirts, and budgeting will then be depleted for this year. Project will possibly need business size and 10 by 13 envelopes printed out of next year's budget, in addition to restocking postcards. Tour count for the month of June 2025 was 892. As of 7/11, the count is currently at 471 for this month. People are appreciating the work and effort going into the training and visitor center. Commenting about new items, organization, nice displays. Cleanliness has all improved in the last couple of years. Many families are returning yearly. Flowers are looking great. Kathy Halbert, Farmers Market, arranged to have them done. Lois and I are attempting to keep up with the weeds. Lois brought in her blower from home and cleaned up the back cement pad, so much better. Thanks, Phil, for another cookie donation. Willow Peterson started as summer intern. There has been some discussion about moving the rock display at the library. Suggest removing one water fountain and rearranging to use 2 empty matching display cases and or possibly display on top of current lighted displays. Coda Westland is a high school student who has been enjoying volunteering here. He has a lot of trained knowledge to share. He has given tours, locked up, prepared a few things. What is the update of the Bulls, Pearls, and Bands event? We have tickets to sell here at the center. Are we selling tickets at the tourism center? Up there. Okay. But if that's the case, we should have fair and everything else, but I didn't know where.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of cash, that much cash being out there either. That's not ours.
It's hard to have to track it separately for somebody. Might be something, but we want to check into. All right. Update on economic development tourism report. Update on CETA work with Russ County.
Okay, so BJ sent an introductory email out to our county board last week. Like I said, his first day was on the 7th. He is kind of stationed out at the visitor center, but he's going to be really out and about in the community most of the time. I met with him this morning. He got a chance to be introduced to the IDC, which is the Industrial Development Corporation, at their meeting last week. So he had great introductions there. He has been in contact with our WEDC representative, Dave Weersbuff from the Warehouser area. And he met with me this morning and I showed him how to rent out a county car because he's planning on kind of starting on the eastern side of the county and then working his way west, making introductions. You guys will remember Kiergan, who was our intern specialist last summer. She made a wonderful business list. So Willow, our new intern, was able to find that off of the intern computer and get that to BJ. So he'll be working off that list to start making connections with some of our local businesses. So
Awesome. Office space for CETA contract, we get that all figured out with the.
yes, good there.
All right, marketing activities, marketing plan, advertising. We got anything?
Well, so we're keeping the same amount of money in the budget in that special projects line for the marketing. It'll just be up to you guys if you want to stick with Fox 47 or if you want to look for different proposals, but there's still going to be that same amount.
Isn't there like 3-4 of them that reach out every year?
Well, yeah, it's well, like some of like EAU, it's a lot of the local stations that reach out and then I think 2 from Madison. So we can discuss that at a meeting in the future if you guys want to seek different quotes for that.
Right, marketing, Tony Ralliard, anything on that?
Thing new. Mm-mm.
Social media? Anything?
Willow's been kind of taking that over, so look for that.
Good. Good. Give you and Al time to get back to your other jobs. All right, IPEC report, Shan.
Did I have a meeting?
Meeting. Program and experimental events, cultural activities. Nothing. Arts, culture, Stark City Tourism Commission report. So you got anything?
There,
Okay. Upcoming completed education opportunities. Done. Okay. Next meeting. The 11th. Everybody's, actually gonna be out of town on the 11th, but I don't necessarily have to be here. Somebody else could.
oh, I think you should be here. About the 18th.
18th. The 18th.
Yeah, Monday again. Does
Okay,
that sound okay?
everybody else good at the 18th, so push it back a month.
3 o'clock, same time.
Is this room
Yeah.
available?
Hi there.
Okay, so the 18th instead of the
Finishing out.
11th,
Instead of the 11th.
yeah. All right, and then it is 4:22 according to my phone, so we'll adjourn.
Adjourn?
So when it's like,
Yep.
like
There's another meeting.
that we can.